Well, I am totally excited to see them back, but this was not a good opener at all. At all. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is season 2, episode 1. As I said, I'm very excited to see the show come back. I like Hollywood, and I also do like Miami. I enjoyed Miami last year, but this was not a good opener at all. It felt very lackluster, like it felt like a filler episode. I'm like, no, 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 no. You got to do better than that. So, what I'm gonna start off with, the first thing, Trina. Trina opened up, and her confessional look. I ain't real crazy about that dress. That dress, it's all right. It's all right. But I love her wet look, platinum hair, sharp. Sharp, sharp, sharp. It looks so good. The hair, it really does look like, I see people are trying that a lot. Like, you'll see the this wet look thing a lot now. And it's not always done real well. Sometimes it just looks like the hair has too much product on it or something. Very rarely you actually get it where it actually looks like the person just stepped out of a pool of water. That's the look that I want. And Trina had it. It looked like she just literally stepped out of a pool of water. Her makeup, she had this whole really fresh look on her makeup. It was very light and very airy. She looked airbrushed. I was like, okay, Trina, bitch, now you look good. You look good. I ain't crazy about that dress. Maybe it was just because it was too dark or something, because the dress was like black. And I don't know, but with everything else she had, everything else was so light and so feminine and so, it was just right. And then from the neck down, it was like dominatrix. So I was like, no, girl, no. But hair and makeup, flawless, flawless, and she looks good. She looked good. Um, what I pulled from this, her and Trick aren't getting along. They're not getting along, and it's more of a creative differences. Who knew? Who would have thought? Creative differences. But the bad part is, instead of Trick actually talking to Trina about the creative differences they're having, Trick is avoiding her and ducking her calls and not showing up for like rehearsals. And there's music, she's sending him beats, and instead of saying he don't care for the beat, he just like not talking to her. So I can imagine that would have got on my nerves. I can imagine that would have got on my nerves. Um, I don't know if he doesn't know how to tell her that he doesn't care for the music that she's choosing. And I know she is a different sound. It's a different sound. Y'all remember Trick Daddy's old. That's the thing. Now he ain't gonna sit up and say it, but that motherfucker's old. He's old, and you know how old people are. You know how old people are when it comes to change. And I think some of that has something to do with, and he just don't know how to voice that. But like, really, what is this ducking her and stuff? That's just, I don't get that. That's a mess. And I can see where she's getting very, very frustrated. And I don't blame her. But anyway, moving on. Young Hollywood. The fuck was that outfit? horrible. I said, is Jams coming back, honey? Because that was horrible. And it was a 2-piece. I said, oh, horrible. But he got with Gunplay. And they were sitting down having lunch, and they just talking about what's going on. He was basically saying that he didn't like the way he was portrayed on the television. He don't like the way he took blame for it. He said, I don't like the way basically that I came off, last year. I don't like the way I came off. So I'm basically staying out of drama. Staying away from the drama, staying out of the drama. Gunplay, his thing, I'm looking at Gunplay. Gunplay looks really, really good. He's gone. Remember, he was going to rehab and all of that when they wrapped. He's gone through his little program and everything. He looks really good. He looks like he done washed his face. And I was like, all right, there you go, trying to look cute and everything. Then they showed he has an album that's about to come out. They showed the album cover. Album cover is nice. The album cover is nice. I laughed. I said, I wonder how I would have loved to have been a fly on the well, first of all, I like to been a fly on the wall when he took it. He's nude, baby. Nude in the album cover. And he's sitting down and it's like an overhead shot of him. Like they're standing in front of him, but over him and taking the picture, and he's like crouched down. You can't see his face or anything. You can't see anything. And then it's all darkened and it's all like black and white. It's a beautiful album cover. It's a beautiful album cover. He looks really, really good. I was like, oh, Gunplay. Y'all know I told you I thought he had a little sexy thing going on. And now that he's freshened up. Yeah, Miss Kiara, girl, you might want to watch that, honey. But him and Kiara done broke up. He wants to get back with Kiara. They met up later in the program, and she's like, I need my space. There's so much that has gone on that she just ain't willing to jump back in with him right now. And the good thing about it is that he ain't giving up on it. He did his little thing. He's screaming and hollering like he do. Child, she don't pay him no attention, child. She used to that. She'll pay his ass no mind. He's screaming and hollering. She's like, motherfucker. And like I said, I need space. He left one out and he was like, but I ain't giving up. So, as sexy as I think Gunplay is, I think I do like Kiara and Gunplay together. They're kind of toxic for each other, but I like them as a couple. I do. So I hope they, now that he's cleaned up and everything, I hope she can pull it together. And I think I would like them together. I do. I definitely understand her stance and where she's at with it. And I understand the nervousness about jumping into it, jumping back into it with them. But I hope they get back together. I liked them as a couple. I did. I like them as a couple. They look good as a couple. One other thing that I heard, there was some situation about his DMs, where she snapped out and got mad and said call it quits. A lot of women in the DMs, and I said, and I can understand that too. And one of them was Miss Amara. I said, Miss Amara. Miss Amara, Miss Amara, Miss Amara. Anyway, and now that I done brought her up, let's move on from that. Miss Amara seems to be doing okay. She's doing okay. But I'm listening to her. And I think my girl Amara done got a little cocky somewhere in there. She got a little bit cocky. And she even said something about her being, a little diva-fied now, There was a little situation. She was in New York. She's performing. Had this really sharp, but that's something, I've been following Amara. Love her. Love Amara. Y'all know that. I told y'all that last season, and I really loved Amara. But Amara, she wears some of the fiercest damn costumes. Whoever does her wardrobe, whoever she works with her wardrobe designers, they do a damn good job. They know how to choose things and make things for her body. And baby, they have her ass decked out in these bodysuits. Because the bodysuits like that, like what she wears, it's not very easy to fit. And I'm speaking on the actual, designing and the actual sewing of the things that she wears. That stuff is not always easy to fit. especially when you got a body that's juicy like Amar's, baby, but they be having her together. Nothing looks funky or too tight, and there's a difference. There's a skill set that's there. Because you see things that Beyonce wears. Beyonce's clothing is impeccable. Impeccable. It fits her every curve. Amara, same thing. Same thing. Those are those girls with those juicy bodies. And sometimes a juicy body will take a garment and shit be folding up and eaten up in certain pockets and that kind of thing when it ain't fitted properly to you. You could tell Beyonce and Amar, you could tell their clothing is custom for them. It ain't nothing off the rack. So kudos to whoever does her costuming because they always keep her flawless. That red jumpsuit was everything. It was everything. She looked so good. It was New York Fashion Week. So yeah, bet you needed to be on. She was performing while the girls were going down the runway. I liked it. It was cool. Something that went on with her mother, and her mother had ended up burning her hand on a candle. So we had a whole thing, and it all was really surrounded around how much she's basically on the road now, and her mother's not always with her all the time. And so, of course, there's an adjustment that has to be taken. I said, I hope y'all not going to drag this out into a storyline. Yes, mama, you're going to be by yourself a little bit more. And her mother was very understanding about it. And Amara was the one having really the problem with it. Girl, mama could take care. She'd have took care of you, which means she knows how to take care of herself. She'd be all right. Please don't use this as a whole storyline because I'll be tired of you and mama real quick. But I see your name keep coming up, girl, as it pertains to men. And it seems as men that don't belong to you, bitch. I got my good eye on you, girl. Got my good eye on you. What's going on, mama? But anyway, so moving on. Jessie Woo is being introduced to us on the show, her and her mom. Jessie Woo, I never knew about Jessie Woo. I heard about Jessie Woo the very first time a few months ago when she did a guest appearance on T.S. Madison's The Queen's Supreme Court. She was a guest judge, and I actually saw her for the first time there. Thought she's absolutely gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. They didn't show very much of her, so we didn't get a whole lot of her personality tonight. But I've seen her, when she was with TS. So I've seen her personality. And if she brings her real personality, she's going to be a hell of a good time on this show because Jessie Woo is out of her mind, okay? And she's very passionate. She's Haitian. She's a Haitian girl. She does look like a little black Haitian Barbie, honey. Just as pretty as she can be. And sing her face off. Sing her face off. Now dig this. Her and Amara share the same manager. Okay? There's already a little situation. See, there was this little girl chat event where Jessie said, she don't mind Amara. She ain't a problem with Amara. She just don't know why Amara's manager seems to put Amara first and gives Amara some of her ideas. So that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. And not only that, then there was a little situation with one of Jessie's exes. Child, undoubtedly Amara done been up in the man's face and up in his DMs, child, and basically it asked him, did he or was he willing to cheat on Jessie? I said, wait a minute, here go Amara's name being thrown around again. I said, Amara, girl, you down with OPP, bitch? What's going on? I said, okay, I don't know. So I see where we're going with Jessie. And Jessie's a comedian. Most of her stuff, she does a lot of her stuff on Instagram. She's famous for Instagram. And she's a comedian. And her mother is a pastor. And Mama not for none of the jokes. She's like a devout Christian pastor. She ain't for the jokes. So there's going to be some struggle there. It's going to be interesting to see if Jessie brings her actual personality. She's going to be a damn good addition to the show. And that's all I got to say. I hope she brings her own real personality because her personality is huge. And the shit that comes out of her mouth is funny. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. And definitely we want to see her do her talent because she can really, really sing. She can, I mean, ain't no joke about it. She can really sing. So I want to see more Miss Jessie Wu. All right, Prince. We see Prince's dad. Prince does look like a younger version of his dad. I was like, oh, okay. And we found out like the dad wasn't always around. Prince spent time in juvie and all of that kind of stuff. He was a bad kid. Okay, he's a bad kid. And now he's doing well. Dad is proud of him. And that's what he said. I'm the one that's going to be able to straighten up this name that we got and make something of it. We're like, okay, cool. Okay, so what's actually been going on? Then we end up seeing Miami Tip and Bobby Lights come in. You know, I like Bobby. Bobby comes in, and then there's this little conversation between Miami and Bobby about Prince. And Bobby's questioning Prince's friendship. Okay, so undoubtedly in the media, Twitter and Instagram and all of this, Prince and Bobby have gotten to be very close. Of course, everybody was always ratting Prince anyway about his sexuality. Everybody thinks that Prince is gay. And it's so funny because he does have a lot of effeminate ways. And sometimes when you stick him and Bobby up together, as extra as Bobby is, Prince looks to be gayer than Bobby. But as if that was even possible. But he does. You know, Bobby gives you one of the girls' teas. I mean, not Bobby. Well, you know, Bobby is one of the girls. But Prince gives you one of the girls' teas. It is what it is. So, you know, social media has been really ratting this kid bad. We all have. I'm part of social media too. We riding the shit out of it like an old motherfucking Mustang. I knew he was riding. But again, that's what he puts out. So it is what it is. But now the thing is, it seems like there's a little bit of a, you know, Bobby did very well with this show last year, and Bobby was one of the fan favorites. And so it's this thing of, is Prince kind of riding Bobby's coattail? Is he using Bobby or is he really a friend? Now he does little shady shit and basically kind of tries to embarrass Bobby in front of people and stuff. And you know, friends like that are irritating. They're irritating. They showed this little clip where we all know that Bobby's very, very particular about his looks. We know that. He's very particular. He's a queen. So, you know how queens are. They were in front of a bunch of fans and stuff, and Prince yanked Bobby's hat off, and his hair wasn't done. And Bobby got all mad, and then he ends up chasing him. Then Bobby ended up falling, and it was just completely embarrassing. And Prince thought it was all funny and all this. So there's like more things like this that supposedly have happened. I don't know about that. I didn't like that. Like, that would have made me very, very angry. I would have been very mad. Don't try to clown me in front of people. I'm not that one. Don't try to make me be the butt of the joke. Don't try to shine on me to make yourself look good. Don't do that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And somebody that keeps doing that shit, no, they're not a friend. And then there was some other talk, and I guess we'll get more into it, but it was about like he only calls him when he wants something. Shit like that. And I'm like, well, Bobby, if you're able to speak it, that means it's gone on too much, and it's probably some truth to it. You probably need to leave Prince alone. But You know, they're being accused that Bobby's being accused that he actually likes Prince a little more than just for friends. That could be a little situation too. Prince is cute, so it could. I mean, especially if they're spending that kind of time together, it could be. I don't know yet. I don't follow either one of them in social media like that, so I'm gonna have to wait and I'm gonna have to see. I got to see. I got to wait and see, and I'll let y'all know what I think as we go on. JoJo, JoJo and Amara actually sat down, and JoJo was actually talking to Amara about the fact she said, me and Bobby have gotten to be really close. That he's actually was staying with me after the hurricane and that he was staying with her and all of that, and they've gotten very close. And so she feels like she's been pulled into the middle of the thing with Bobby and Prince, and she feels like she needs to say something to Prince. And Amara's telling her, "Girl, you need to probably just stay out of it." I feel like she needs to stay out of it too, because I think it's going to backfire, and she's going to be in the midst of the shit, and then everybody going to be mad at JoJo. But we'll see. Now, as we actually got to see footage from that little girl chat event, we found out that JoJo has actually been messing with Pleasure P. I said, what? So JoJo been messing around with Pleasure P, and the subject came up about Shay and how Shay's going to feel. She said, baby, me and Shay are not friends. Me and Shay have never been friends all like that. I don't owe her shit. And I would tell her that to her face. You know that's how JoJo's attitude is. I would tell her to her face. Me and her were never friends. Yes, I mess around with Pleasure P. Of course, she better go ahead somewhere. I was like, okay. All right. So with all that little stuff went on, then Miami Tip ends up saying something to JoJo about Bobby. And she's saying, well, I know there's this little thing with Prince and Bobby, but I'm kind of hearing that you're saying things about Bobby behind his back, and she's already then got pulled into bullshit. It's like trickling, and it's bullshit. I said, oh God, oh God. And JoJo was like, girl, whatever. And she really gave Miami tip, girl, whatever. And Miami was like, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm getting on up out of here because see, I'm beating Custer out in a minute. And Miami Tip ended up leaving, and JoJo was like, her, ridiculous. I was like, now see, this is all a mess. This is a mess. And here it is. Prince don't even know that anything's actually going on. He's just doing whatever it is he's doing and thinking that it's okay. I said, oh God, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a big explosion with Prince and Bobby as we're watching this. And guess what? I'm here for it. I want to see it, y'all. I do. I want to see it because I got a feeling that Prince is actually doing the things that Bobby is actually claiming that he's doing, and if that's the case, if he's using him, and I got a feeling that he needs his ass whooped, and I'm gonna be here for it. Anyway, we'll see. Anyhow, so last thing, Trina Trina and Trick had a little run in where they finally ran into each other. They had to do a performance. Then they discussed the business, and then it just got petty fast, and some of their issues got discussed. And the next thing you know, Trina blew the fuck up. She went the fuck off, like went off on Trick to the point where like producers and shit had to come and get her and take her out and pull cameras off her and go calm her. She went the fuck off. I was like, okay, Trina, all right. And the whole thing behind it, she's like crying. And because at first I was like, this is also put on. But no, she was like crying, like she's very, very hurt behind the situation. Like, why is Trick doing this? We go back too far for this. She don't know what's up. And Trick basically just act like he don't give a fuck. So I was like, interesting. A lot of interesting little stuff. And I think it's going to turn up and it's going to be okay. But for a first episode, it just didn't give me, it was more like, here's some information. We're going to build onto it later. And you know, we don't start our love and hip hop, our love and hip hops off like that. Child, be some shit going down. And then they explain it later. But to get the information and then waiting on shit to get popped off, because that little bit with Trina and Trick, that wasn't a pop off enough. That was cool, but for the most part, the rest of it was kind of boring. It was like just a bunch of filler information stuff. But anyway, I trust the brand and the product. I think it's going to be okay. Y'all meet me back here next Monday and we talk about it. We'll talk about it. And in the meantime, train a good job with that damn wet look hair, bitch. That was the shit. That was the whole thing for me. That was like the best thing this whole episode. That damn wet look hair for Trina right in the beginning. I loved it. Anyway, I'll see y'all next Monday. Or no, I'm sorry, Monday. Lord, they keep switching shit around here, honey. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'll catch y'all next Wednesday. I'll see y'all Monday for Love and Hip Hop New York, though. All right, y'all. Later.